This is how to draw a city in 2-point perspective. Brought to you by Christie Boyd's art class. The first thing that you need for this project is a ruler and a pencil and a piece of paper. The first thing that you're going to do is draw a line as close to the middle of the piece of paper as you can. I draw nice and dark so that you can see it show up on the video, but you should draw as light as possible. Put a dot at the end of the line on both sides. The line is your horizon line and the dots are your vanishing points. Now draw a line below the horizon line, perpendicular to the horizon line. This is the front corner of your first building. From the bottom of that line, draw toward one of the vanishing points, and from the top of that line, draw toward the same vanishing point. Now switch to the other vanishing point, and again from the bottom of that line, you're going to draw toward the vanishing point, and from the top of that line, you're also going to draw toward the vanishing point. That is the basic setup for 2-point perspective. Now you want to decide where you want to cut that front building off. So I'm going to cut it off here and here. And then you can erase your guidelines because you don't need those to go all the way to the vanishing point anymore. This is why you want to draw nice and lightly so that those lines completely erase and you don't end up with ugly pencil marks all over your drawing. So now we're going to draw in the roof, and from the top of the edge of my building, I'm going to go toward the opposite vanishing point. Here we go. And I'm not going to draw my line all the way to the vanishing point because I know it doesn't need to go all the way there. If you still need to go all the way, you can. So from that side, I'm going to draw toward the opposite vanishing point as well. And then erase any extra line that you have sticking off. Now, time for a second building. So I'm going to draw in another vertical line. We want this one to go above the horizon line. So that line there is the front corner of the building again. And now I'm going to draw from the top of that line down toward the vanishing point. And I'm not going all the way to the vanishing point. And then I'm going to draw down towards the other vanishing point. And then I can cut that building off and make it as wide as I want it to be. And cut it off on the other side. Erase any extra lines sticking out. And erase the horizon line that's behind the building. And because the horizon line is the eye line, I can't see the roof on this taller building. Okay? Now I'm going to make another building that's below the horizon line. So that line right there is the front edge, the front corner of the building. So I'm going to go from the top of that line to this vanishing point, and from the top of that line again towards the other vanishing point. And then I need to draw in my roof. Cut off the building on the edge. And from the top of that line, I'm going to draw to the opposite vanishing point. And from the top of that line towards the opposite vanishing point. And I can't see the other point, but I'm going to imagine it's somewhere behind that building. And draw toward the opposite vanishing point. And then erase any extra lines that I don't need. So our buildings are looking pretty good here. Now I'm going to draw a taller one, like a skyscraper, way up above the horizon line. And from the top of that line, I'm going to draw down towards the vanishing points on both sides. And again, I don't need to draw all the way to the vanishing points because I know my building is not going to be that giant. And then from those lines, draw straight down. And the sides of the buildings you just want to be as straight up and down vertical perpendicular to the horizon line as possible. They should be parallel to the sides of your paper. Okay. Now it's time to talk about windows. So the windows, I like to go along and put little marks that will be the sides of the window. And with windows, the sides of the windows are straight up and down, vertical. They're perpendicular to the horizon line. Okay, they're parallel to the sides of the building. And the tops and bottoms of the windows want to be drawn towards the vanishing points, the closest vanishing point. Okay, so I'm drawing in the top and the bottom of the windows now. And the tops and bottoms of the windows should look should be the same sort of angles as the tops and bottoms of that side of the building. So I keep moving my ruler so that it's still lined up with the vanishing point. And then I can draw in the other side of the window, so it's parallel to the side of that building. And then erase any little pencil marks that are sticking out. You can do the same thing on all your windows, draw in all your windows on all your buildings. You can draw in a sidewalk and a road. So for the sidewalk, again, you want to line up your ruler with the vanishing points on both sides. And then a lot of kids like drawing in the cracks in the sidewalks. So with the cracks on the sidewalks, they want to be parallel to the horizon line. And as you get closer to the vanishing points, the cracks on the sidewalk will get closer and closer together. This is a really good trick for adding depth and making things look more realistic. As you get closer to the vanishing point, things like cracks in sidewalks look like they get closer and closer together. So now it's just about adding details. Okay, you can add doors, you can add stairs, you can add awnings, you can add all kinds of stuff. But now you know the basic rules, and the same rules are going to apply each time you draw in something new. So with this doorway, the top of the doorway and the bottom of the doorway are going towards the vanishing point, just like the top and the bottom of that building. The sides of the doors are straight up and down vertical, just like the sides of that building. Okay? And you can add in a road if you want. And again, the dashed line in the middle of the road should get closer and closer together as you get closer to the horizon line, as you get closer to the vanishing point. Okay? So keep adding details. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.